Yesterday. Before we start up, before we start up, we have a I have actually a small story. So I'll just tell you one story. So it's like एक बचपन से मेरा एक सपना था बहुत बहुत but in fifth and sixth I was like मुझे आर्मी ज्वाइन करने का बहुत ज्यादा शौक था and but fifth or sixth standard में because my dad expired so I failed actually. तो मुझे 2 साल मेरे एक्स्ट्रा वेस्ट हुए थे बचपन में. So after doing my 10th, I went to Pune. I stay in Mumbai. I went to Pune और पुणे में बिना अपने मॉम किसी को बताया मैं एक बस लेके 50 रुपीज में मैं पुणे पहुंच रहा था. आज उसकी टिकट की रेट इज 500 रुपीज. और when I went there, I filled up the form. I got the hall ticket. I got everything. But I respected at the same time. I was so scared with the army people. When I got the hall ticket, I still have it. I still have it. I'll try to get it and I'll show you also. मैं इतना डर गया बिकॉज उसमें जो एज जो मैंने मेंशन की थी आई डेंट से कि मैं 2 ईयर फेल हुआ हूँ. आई डेंट से दैट. आई सेड कि नहीं मैं इतना हूँ करके. सो आई गॉट स्कैर्ड एंड आई वाज लाइक नो यू शुड नॉट डू दिस. अगर उनको बाद में मालूम पड़ा तो they might take an action for this. So I was just scared, but now in the last season, I met one sir in Seniors Have Talent. Um, his name is Ashutosh Sirothia, sir. So I was just in discussion. He's an amazing singer, amazing personality. उनकी आवाज में इतनी ठहराव और इतनी अच्छी है. So we couldn't stop ourselves and we asked him if he can come down for coffee with us. So he accepted finally. And today we have Mr. Ashutosh Sirothia, sir, with us. Sir, can we see you and can we hear you? Everyone are waiting for you, sir.
Good evening, Firoz. Good evening, everyone who's attending this coffee with seniors today. Thank you for inviting me on this podium and thank you everyone for joining and hearing me out. It's nice to hear your part of the story, Firoz. I didn't know that you also were in line sometime.
I tried, sir, but I was so scared कि अगर मैं पकड़ा जाऊंगा एग्जाम के बाद में तो फिर कुछ हो जाएगा. So I just backed out.
Yeah.
So today we have some questions, sir, because everyone actually would like to hear a story of army veteran. You are a brigadier, a Sena medic. So the first thing what I just want to ask is, tell us something about your childhood, where you grew up and कैसे मतलब how where do you stay and everything.
Yeah. I was born in a small town, Sagar in Madhya Pradesh, way back in '59. Those were the days when, roads used to be water-bound macadam, that Murram roads, red-colored roads. The electric poles used to be wooden poles where a man would come every evening and with a kerosene in one hand and a lit lamp in another, climb a ladder, fill the kerosene in the lamp and go away, light up the whole street. And the kerosene used to be just sufficient so that when the sun is rising, all the lamps went out themselves. It was a time where socially people were very connected. In small towns, I think it may be true even today in villages, where the whole the mohalla used to be your family, and one dare not do anything wrong because everybody was a chacha or a chachi or bhai or bhabi or somebody. They will pull your ears in case you found doing something wrong. So I was eldest of 5 siblings. Those days it was very common to have 4 or 5 children, and I was brought up by my grandmother. My grandfather passed away very early, and because my grandmother was alone, so my parents decided to give me away to her so that she remains busy and doesn't feel very aloof and isolated. and she was a very strict disciplinarian. Those days, she was quite quite a symbol in the town. She used to play tennis. She used to drive jeep. She had studied till 8th class, and in her times, she was a very active lady and very strict. So we were brought up in a very strict discipline environment at home, and I studied my school. Then I went to Bhopal to continue my end of the school and beginning of the college. Came back to Sagar and did my post graduation Master of Science in Botany Forest Ecology. That was my first degree, and that's how the childhood went. It was a very pleasant childhood with a lot of pleasant experiences. And even today, I must recall Kendriya Vidyalaya was our school. I think we are the luckiest ones. Even today, 100% of our classmates are there, connected to each other, thanks to WhatsApp. However, we may condemn WhatsApp, but this is one gain we have, that all these schoolmates are connected and we exchange thoughts and we talk to each other very, very often. And that keeps us alive. So that was, in short, my childhood.
Very nice, sir. Good to hear, sir. And I just love that वो हमने सिर्फ टीवी में देखा है कि लकड़ी का पोल है तो पूरा मैंने वो मुझे साइज होता था कि केरोसिन डाला पूरा दे नो कि इसी टाइम पे वो खत्म हो गया and morning will start. The calculation was so good actually. And those red roads and everything. So love to know that you are from Sagar. So again, everyone will be having no questions regarding this. See, why did you choose army as your choice? Just
That's very interesting. Actually, when I finished my MSc, I had 3 choices. I was one of the toppers. So the professor or the head of the department of my university teaching department called me and said, look, congratulations, well done. And you can join the department from tomorrow as assistant professor. I'll keep you for 2 years in probation, and then I will give you the permanent appointment after 2 years. And I'm very sure that I can assure you that you will be absorbed. It is not that after 2 years we turn you away. That is one option. Second option was I had cleared my SSB, the written examination, and I was all set to go and join the army. And the third option was that I wanted to go to National School of Drama.
Oh, energy, yeah.
Yes. So I had made all preparations. In fact, I wanted to spend 4 years there and learn this thing. I was very passionate about doing plays. It started way back in school because of our Hindi teacher, Mrs. Khare. And having done 3-4 plays in our school, when we came to the college, we realized that we were always short of money. So we decided कि यार हम लोग अगर play करेंगे तो कुछ पैसे बन सकते हैं. So we went to the AV department, we used to call it audio visual department. There was one cultural department. And we requested to the director कि सर हमको आपका ये थिएटर दे दीजिए, हम इसकी सफाई कर देते हैं और हम लोग इसमें. He permitted us, and we in 3 years we did almost 8-9 major plays, all university students. And in those days we used to keep a ticket of 1 rupee. So we used to prepare for 3 months, stage a play, and even if the audience were say 100-150, we used to get that much of money. So हमारे को शायद 10-12 रुपए मिल जाते थे, बाकी खर्च हो जाते. That was my interest in the plays, and I decided that I should go to NSD and formally learn this thing and then do something as my career. So with these 3 choices, I went to my father. I said, Pitaji, these are the 3 things. What do you think I should do? He says, what do you want to do? I've come to ask you, you should take a first call, then I'll tell you what I want to do. He says, बेटा सबसे cool life तो है assistant professor बन जाओ. I am sure you will do very well. So I told him no, assistant professor जो है वो मुझे जमता नहीं है, because I have seen how students can be nasty to professors. I didn't want to stand the other side of the desk, though I was very good in teaching, and so was that was the reason why my head of the department told me to join. I said, "Nahi, hum professor to nahi bane." He said, "Then what do you want to do?" I said, "I want to go to National School of Drama." He said, "बेटा एक चीज याद रखो कि जिंदगी में दिलीप कुमार और अमिताभ बच्चन तो करोड़ों में एक होते हैं. बाकी जो है, तुम अगर अपनी सारी जिंदगी कुर्ता पजामा पहन के, बाथरूम स्लीपर पहन के, सोडा पट्टी कन्नाड़ी लगा करके अगर भटकने को तैयार हो बैग लटका कर, तो मैं कह सकता हूं कि तुम चले जाओ." तो मैंने कहा, मैं तैयार हूं. But he said, no, no, no. You may be ready, but I am not ready, because you are my eldest son. You have 4 to follow. You have to give them the right lead. So the only option left is go and join the army. And that is how I landed up in the army. I thank my stars I landed up in the army. I think there was no regret after having joined it.
That was amazing, sir, because NHD, I work with NHD also as a other part. I used to actually, so I've seen those people with that bag, and when you told me कि हाँ वो bag लेके आएंगे वो कुर्ता पहन के, if you want to go, so I can relate that because I've seen people in that attire. Actually, yes. I've seen them in that attire. So that was lovely, sir. So now one of the major thing now, my age is gone and everyone now they have settled up. But for my kid, it was like now also he's just 7 years and he is like, Daddy, मुझे army officer बनना. He is like, मुझे से वही बनना है. And now also he is like, मुझे और कुछ नहीं बनना, because बचपन से मैंने उसके दिमाग में शायद से डाला है. But now when I'm afraid actually many of the times, just to say I'm afraid. So I just want to know how the life is there in army. Like, can you just share some experiences so that we can have something? And yes, all the audiences, those who are today with us, we will be calling you up. If you have any questions, you can talk to Ashutosh sir. Once I am done, then I'll call everyone one by one. Okay, thank you. Okay, so yeah. So what was the army life and some few experiences, sir?
Okay. I was commissioned after an year's training in the Officers Training School, Madras. And I got into the oldest regiment of the Indian Army, the Madras Regiment. Oh. And I was sent to a new raising, 11 Madras. So I reached, you get a warrant, go home, and from home you travel by train. And my unit was in Jaipur that time. So I reached and I got down from the train and I was looking for somebody who must have come. Otherwise, I would ask somebody or go to the station master and ask him how to reach the cantonment. And sure enough, there's one couple of Thambis walked up to me dressed in uniform. And I moved to them. We introduced each other, and there was my senior subaltern who had come to receive me. And the first question he asked me was, "Why are you not in uniform?" I said, "Sir, I mean, I didn't think of it because I would have, in any case, got to the cantonment somehow." He said, "No, but how would I identify you?" I said, "But sir, you are in uniform, so I can identify you. So the aim is met." Oh, goodness. The hell broke loose. He said, "Okay, let's go." So I went to the unit, and unit may, there is a bachelor's evening, all subalterns. And we are a new raising. We had full strength of subalterns. We were 10 of us, second lieutenants and lieutenants, and captains. So I was firstly wined in and then dined in. So when it came to wining in, I said, "I don't drink." He said, "No, this is, I was told this is 11 Madras and 11 drinks you have to have." तो मैंने अपनी जिंदगी में कभी साला ड्रिंक देखा ही नहीं था, तो मैंने कहा चलो अभी अगर ये फौज का हुक्म है तो मान लेते हैं. So I was given those something like these glasses. 11 of them were prepared. I don't know what was that. It was all mixed of everything. Whatever was there in the bar was poured in those 11 glasses. Now I went 1, 2, and I was drinking like you drink water. I mean, जैसा भी था, जैसा taste था, be done with it. यार 11 करके चलते हैं यहाँ से. So, but by the time it was 6th or 7th, everything became blurred and I fell back and I was unconscious. Now they ran into panic. Yaar, isko kya ho gaya? The RMO was also one of these subalterns, the regimental medical officer. He fatafat took me to the MI room and he informed the CO ki sir ye hua tha and he is now unconscious, but he's okay. His vitals are okay. Par ye theek nahi hai. CO came running, the commanding officer, and he said, look, he called all these subalterns. He said, agar isko kuch ho gaya na, so I will not leave you guys. And they were all made to go on a route march every day till I came into senses on the 3rd morning.
Oh.
Yeah, because I had never consumed a drink at all. So my body must have taken that time, and I came up and that route march was stopped, and I was cursed by everybody कि साले तेरी वजह से मैं उनको इतना सब कुछ करना पड़ा है. You better start learning things, learning your ropes now. Fortunately, we gelled very well, and I found that my all senior subalterns were one better than the other. They were the best lot called from all the units of the Madras Regiment. So what happens when you're raising a new unit? You got to have the best guys. So whenever you spoke to them, somebody was, all alpha gradings in courses. Army, we have lots of courses, and instructor grading. जिसको हाथ लगाओ वही brilliant है, वही outstanding है. तो I used to be quite in awe कि यार ये मैं ऐसा कर पाऊंगा कि नहीं कर पाऊंगा, because I was the first man who ever entered the army from my family. Well, it happened finally, and when I got into courses, I also was made to prepare and do well. So that was one thing. Then my first field was very interesting. I was posted to Batalik, Kargil. That was my first field after Jai. We were sent on a long-range patrol, which used to be a 20-day patrol, 10 days going, 10 days coming back from Batalik to Turtuk. Now, 10 days over snow, you had to be self-contained because there was no posts between these two. All 10 days, you had to walk, be on your own. And we were a 20-strong patrol. So we, 20 men, used to carry all our rations, all our tents, bivouacs, kerosene, because we have to light up and keep the tent warm for night and then move during the day. And if it is bright sun, we have to be very careful. There should be no avalanche and things like that. So we did that 20 days. In fact, when we fell short of rations, that was the time that the Tambis, we call them Tambis. My unit soldiers are called Tambis. They are younger brothers. Tambis used to manage either by, because I was a vegetarian, so I was told, साहब ये राशन आपके लिए रख लेते हैं, हम एक कोई wild animal को मार के हम अपना काम चला दें. And that's how we reached 10 days. And then we refilled ourselves and then walked back 10 days. That was that was one experience which taught me how you can lead troops through difficult situations. And the kind of faith that they have in you, कि साहब हमारे साथ है तो कुछ गड़बड़ हो ही नहीं सकता. And we faced very difficult situations. अच्छा पानी हम नहीं ले जाते थे, वो तो बर्फ स्नो को मेल्ट करके we used to drink water. That bound me as my first field experience with my troops. Uske baad to we used to be sent by the commanding officer. We used to stay in every. I was an adjutant. Adjutant is a man who carries out, who dispenses the CO's orders throughout the unit and ensures that those orders are carried out. So I was sent on each post. I used to stay with officers and men, everybody, and then come back. This is where we truly got to bind with each other. And we got prepared. That is how you prepare for war. When soldiers and you, there is no difference when they start, and they respect you only because you can do everything as good or even better than what soldiers can. Then only you get the respect. You can't be weak. You have to be good in sports. You have to be good in battlecraft, tactics, everything. Then you get your respect. So this is how army life has been. And today, after having hung my boots, the thickest connections we have is with our own course-mates and all the veterans of the two units. I was commissioned in 11 Madras, but I commanded 25 Madras. So I have two families attached to me. And even today, I get more calls from my Jawans and my JCOs than officers. That is my, I would say, that is my earning of the army. This is how army life has been. Very fulfilling, very complete in almost every aspect. I don't think any other organization can ever give you that kind of completeness. You have to know how to respect ladies right from day one. There's no going back. And ladies doesn't mean only officers' wives, even Jawans' wives. Everybody is looked at and looked after in the similar manner. You have to be good in sports. You have to be physically fit. You have to be mentally agile and alert. So this is the organizational requirement. A very holistic and a very complete makeup as an officer, as a Jawan, or as an organization. That's how the army.
Amazing, sir. So, actually, I've started getting the goosebumps actually. Because I'm no one in front of, because it was my dream and I'm taking an interview. I'm no one actually, but still it's like a privilege for me कि मुझे वो मौका मिला है करके, and I'm actually getting that goosebumps when I'm getting. ये सब movie में देखा है sir हमने. Many of them we have just seen in the movies the life of an army officer, how it goes on. But knowing it personally, it's like amazing, sir.
Thank you.
Everyone in our lives, sir, we all have a turning point. Everyone at my age, at your age, or anyone, those who are today with us, everyone has a turning point. So what was your turning point? It can be army life, or else it can be a normal general life. So what was the turning point?
Actually, I'll relate things to army life because that is the most I have lived. 35 years is a long time. And I won't call them army points, Firoz. It is actually inflection points. Points where life is moving like this, it suddenly takes off like that. You know, that is the point of inflection. A sudden change, and the graph goes up and up and up. One of the most important points was when I had done battalion support weapons course in Mau. I'm talking about 1987. We are taught 3 weapons: the medium machine gun, the recoilless anti-tank gun, and 81mm mortar, which does indirect fire and sends the shells to 5.5 kilometers away onto the enemy. And I was one of the best students and graded instructor in all these weapons. I came back to the unit, and soon after I got a call. My CO got a letter from the Army headquarters saying that I stand posted to National Security Guard, the Black Cat Commandos in the NSG outfit, which is there in Manesar. So the CO called me. Anything of this kind, one goes for an interview to the CO. I went and I told him, sir, I was not very fit at that point in time because I had come back after a course. So course में पढ़ाई लिखाई ज़्यादा होती है, fitness takes a little back seat. I had put on a little weight. We recently got married. So वाइफ के हाथ का खाना खा के और भी वजन बढ़ गया था. I told him, sir, मेरे को एनएसजी में कौन रखेगा? He says, you don't know them. They will not leave you. You got all these instructor gradings. You're gone now. You out of the unit. So wish you all the best. Go. And I went to Manesar. I did a probation. It is a probation of I think 10 or 12 weeks, where one is tested for fitness, firing, and IQ and everything. There are very long list of tests which one has to go through. And the hit rate is 2 in 100, 3 in 100. That's it. 100 people come, only 2 taken, rest sent back. So I made it through the probation. And I would thank all my probationers who helped me do it. Because initially I used to be a laggard. I couldn't leave the start point of a 2-mile run and later a 5-kilometer run. But gradually they encouraged me, they pulled me, and dhire, I came up. In the 4th week, I was with them. In the 6th, 7th week, I was ahead of them, and finally I got through. That was one point which changed the trajectory of my life. Because thereafter, I voluntarily decided to do karate course, which used to be taught to the commandos and the rangers. And instructors were under me, so I said I will also join. So I used to take out my ranks, keep them outside the pit, and then enter, learn every day. And in 3 years, I earned my brown belt. I was to appear for a black belt, but suddenly I had to move out, so I could not appear for the test of the black belt. Though my sensei came to me and said, "Sab, we know that you are good and you deserve this belt. Would you accept it if we give it to you?" Because the dojo was in Chennai, and they had come and seen my performance 3 times over. So they said, "No, we can give him the belt if it is okay. He doesn't need the test." I said, "No, Sensei, I will not, because that will be morally wrong. If I have not appeared in a formal test with those 6 instructors sitting in front and people coming for the combat, it will be not correct for me to accept the belt." So I didn't take the black belt, but I took my brown belts and came out. And I learned awesome things there. We used to be taught offensive driving, how to carry a VIP in case there is a blockade, how should we move in a car and take him away. I used to be one of the best shots in NSD, especially pistol and sniper shot. And those days, PSG 9 guns were introduced, where a Russian sniper gun, where one could crack a quarter plate 2 kilometers away from where he was sitting. Yes, 2 kilometers away, a quarter plate you could crack. That is the accuracy of that gun. But one had to go gradually and learn it. And then one became proficient. It started from 500 meters, went to 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, 1,800, and then 2,000. So that's how we learned. And when I came back, I was full of confidence with the belt under, the karate belt under my belt. And I then trained my firing team of the unit, which then later won in the div competition and the command competition. So that was one infection. Second one was in 92, we were in Assam, deployed in Assam, of Bajrang against Alpha, the United Liberation Front of Assam, the organization which was declared anti-terrorist organization. In addition to carrying out the operations to catch the Ulfa cadre, I was ripe to appear in Defense Officers Staff College entrance exam. It is one of the toughest exams one can ever face. Sometimes people say even clearing IAS, IPS exam is probably competitively easier than appearing in DSSC. But I can't comment that way because I have never appeared in those exams, so I don't know the other side of the fence. So what I did was, the one had to do operations throughout the day, and there was hardly any time left for studies. So I decided that I'll have to sleep lesser. How do I do that? Then, from my own thinking, I came to the conclusion that if you eat more, you tend to sleep more. So I cut down on eating. I used to have half a liter of milk and 2 bananas in the morning, half a liter of milk and 2 bananas at night, and 1 steel ke tiffin ka dabba of khichdi with 1 papad and a chammach of ghee in the afternoon. I lived like that for 1 year. I prepared for exam, and I used to sleep only for 4 hours, 4 to 5, depending if it's a Sunday, 5. And I had 6 papers to clear. 1 paper I had made notes and I had tape recorded them. So when I used to go off to sleep, I used to listen to that tape recorder, and my answers I could remember कि oh मैं यहाँ पे बोल रहा हूँ, oh इधर पे चम्मच गिरी है, उधर पे तंबी ने नमस्कारम साहब किया है. So I remembered all the answers of the entire notes. And similarly, others I wrote down and absorbed them, ingested all those things, and finally I cleared the exam. So that was the second inflection point in my life, where I went to Defence Services Staff College in Wellington. Wellington is near Ooty, Kunur. And my regimental center was also there, Madras Regimental Center. In 1 year, they tell you how to think. They teach you how to think. When something comes in front of you, how do you holistically look at every aspect before you take a decision? How do you write out your things? We are very good at talking. When it comes to writing or connecting a map and your plan, then people start fumbling. There, everything is refined. And there also, Firoz, joined the Dramatics Club. And we did a full 3-hour play, Ballabpur Ki Roop Katha by Badal Sarkar. And I was in the lead with another guy. That time commandant was General Malik, who later became the chief in the Kargil war. Yes, and he came up and said, I can't believe it. Your staff college students have done this play. Oh God, this is mesmerizing. This is absolutely awesome. So when we came out of staff college, we are treated as people who have done well in the army. Till then, that stamp is not there. Everybody is okay. When you do staff college, people think, you what's a salt. You can go ahead. So that was the second inflection point. Third inflection point was when I got to command the Tangdhar Brigade in 2012. After finishing my MBA from IIT Kharagpur, I incidentally took 2 years study leave, went on campus to IIT Kharagpur and did MBA. And having done MBA, I went back. I told the army headquarters, yaar, main MBA karke aaya hu, kuch mujhe achhi jagah lagao, use my experience. They said, you go to field. There, farthest post, cool your heels, look after the troops. So I went as deputy commander, took over the same brigade. What an experience it was. Eyeball to eyeball, Pakistanis, us, total domination, terrorist infiltration. We had to control infiltration. And it was God's grace. I had, the entire, I had 5 units under me and a whole lot of hospital and everything else, because it's an isolated place. In war, it can get cut off. So we were self-contained. And it was an awesome tenure where I was finally given the Sena medal by the president for a distinguished command of that brigade. So these were the 3, I would say, not turning points, the inflection points of my career.
That was so lovely. The first thing I just know, we have seen in the movies that sniper shots, wo dur se itne maar raha hai. So we were like, is it possible or not? But when you told 2 kilometers and just got a plane, and it's like amazing. The secondly, when you are into army and the passion of acting, you again got it, and then it was like the best. So that was actually lovely. The passion is still there. So amazing, it was amazing.
Thank you.
So, as you served the infantry, so which is one of the toughest disciplines of defense? Was there ever a moment when you ever scared or terrified while on duty? Like, we all actually want to know that.
Yeah, Firoz, there is often a myth in people's mind that soldiers are not scared. It is not true.
So,
All human beings are scared. When you face death, everybody is scared. What makes you overcome that fear is the level of training that you have. And I am very proud to say that Indian Army's level of training is the best in the world. Our soldiers, our officers, our men are so beautifully trained and so well trained and so continuously trained that people can't match us. We are para commandos, our commandos go for international competitions, they beat other guys hollow. There's no doubt in it. We are so innovative. वो Indian जुगाड़ जो होता है ना, साला कुछ भी दे दो हम उसको, we'll go through. That जुगाड़ works because Indian mind is made like that. We can go through any situation. And so that was about the fear part. Yes, when I was sent, we were the first unit which was lifted from Hyderabad to Sri Lanka against the LTT. Now, let me give a piece of truth here. Actually, we were to go and fight the Sri Lankan army. And we were practicing to force land in Jaffna, capture the airstrip, and then continue from there. But when we were airlifted, somewhere midway, there was an accord signed between the then Prime Minister and the President Premadasa of Sri Lanka and late Sri Rajiv Gandhi. And that pact was signed that, no, we will not do this. We will handle the LTT, but the Sri Lankan army should remain confined to lines. So midway, we were given this message and we were told, look, now you are not force landing and attacking. You land, you will be guided. The same army which you were to attack on will be giving you a cup of tea and we will then go in. And our first job will be to confine the Sri Lankan army into barracks and start the process of rehabilitation of LTT and the Tamil villages in that area. Unfortunately, what happened was that this was October 1987. One of the boats of LTT was caught by Sri Lankan Navy, which was carrying a lot of arms. And I was in Jaffna, my CO was in Jaffna, and our entire unit was in the Jaffna area. And this happened in the blue waters of Jaffna. So we got to know that the boat has been captured and Sri Lankan Navy is not leaving it. We got a call from the higher cadre of, in fact, Prabhakaran spoke to the CO कि तो सर हमारा आदमी को आपको छोड़वाना पड़ेगा, ये ऐसे नहीं चलेगा. Then his 2IC Kumar came and met us कि ये तो very important. Our 12 men are with them, 10 or 12 men are with them. And we must do something. So we rushed, we drove to Jaffna, we met their headquarters, met the commander in the headquarters, Sri Lankan army, told them, यार इसको निकालो, ये कहते नहीं सर वो नेवी कह रही है कि आप लोगों की कोई बातचीत नहीं होगी, ये तो they'll be all taken to Colombo. We are Navy, we are not interested in what army is doing. I said, यार ये तो कमाल है. But so they were brought on land and they were in Jaffna airport. They were to be airlifted to Colombo. Now, as this was happening, we all reached. We tried to persuade. Sri Lankan Navy didn't budge. LTT pulled out their cyanide capsules and said, if you take one step, we'll all bite it. They took one step, they all bit, they all fell down. All 12 died on the spot. Now, that was a terrible blow on the relations between the Indian Army and the LTTE. And this situation worsened, and on, I think, 20th October, a full-fledged fight by LTT against the Indian Army started. We were in the thick of it. That was when, what scares you is not that bullets are flying all over. What scares you is ambiguity. If there are no clear orders, you tend to get scared कि यार इसके आगे करना क्या है? We come here, अब इसके बाद क्या करना? Who's going to tell us? जाएं, अपने आप जाएं. तो वो भी clear नहीं है. The CO is commanding the whole battle. He's taking orders from the GOC. GOC is telling him, no, तुमको additional troops नहीं मिलेंगे. He said, sir, we are pushed against a very thick resistance. We need to encircle them from flank and then attack them. Then only we can proceed ahead. Finally, not going too much into depth of this, we lost a couple of officers. We lost JCOs and Jawans. We overcome that resistance. Then we finally took the entire area under our control, and LTT had to run back to jungles. That fight continued for a year plus. That was the only time I felt that we were slightly scared, because that was the second exposure to enemy. First exposure was Kargil, and we were not scared at all because we knew enemy ka us taraf jo bhi hai enemy hai, ठोक सकते हैं. But idhar pe civilians bhi tha, sab kuch tha. You didn't know if you fired and if it went into villages, so civilians will get killed. You have to be very controlled. Acha, they were trained by us, so they were as good. LTT wale were very, very good fighters. And we really had to put in our best to overcome that. And we had to devise methods to beat them. We had to understand ye kaise ho raha hai and how can we break the spine, how can we... A lot of planning and that thing went into doing those operations. That was the only time I think I felt somewhere fear came close to us. Mostly not because I was under threat. Mostly because my Tambis, we were all moving together. I couldn't afford to lose one single guy. And from my neighboring companies, we lost 6. So I used to be worried, yaar, mere bande marne nahi chahiye, chahe kuch ho jaye. And that was the only time scare or fear came close to me.
It's like ऐसा कोई ऐसी movie आ रही मेरे सामने. I am thinking I can make a movie actually on this, because everything is like, and that dar also when you told ki because you were not knowing what has to be done, and that dar was actually a very this thing. So I know I actually I have no idea. Now, so the next question is, I know the answer. I think all people, those who are here, they also know the answer, because firstly you choose to be an army officer, but just to know, you got a chance in your next birth to be an army officer, will you go or else you other job?
Oh, that's interesting. My answer is even 100 births hereafter, I will go to the army, undoubtedly. And I also want to request God that next time when I get into army, make me a Sardar. Because my experience of Sardars has been, they have this bloody big heart. And those people are, kya bande yaar, upar wale ne kya banaya. Absolutely great guys. Wherever I have encountered Sardars or Sardar troops, in fact, Tambis and Sardars really click well. They write letters to each other. Can you beat it? Jawans, they really click well. And there is no commonality, the Sardar is Punjabi and the Tambi is speaking Tamil, but they somehow communicate and they are best of friends. So, एक तो अगर जन्म मिलेगा तो फौज में तो जाऊंगा, लेकिन अगर ऊपर वाला सरदार बनाए तो अच्छा. And secondly, I believe I believe me, I have seen Gorkha troops are very good. So having had the experience of Tambis, which are absolutely ultimate and awesome, I would like to have a feel of Gorkha troops also. And I am told that when you command a Gorkha Patan, you're like a god. So uska maza lena hai to agli baar agar upar wala bhejega to if he commissions me into Gorkha is nothing like it. Otherwise, my Madras regiment is awesome.
Amazing. Because yeah, the Punjabis, when we say, so we have seen so many Punjabis, and I was there for India's Got Talent also. So there we have seen those Punjabis hitting and everything, and they're so strong, and they're like, okay, oh yeah, aaja milte hain, and they're so full of life actually. Yeah, in short, ताकत है, but at the same moment they are like full of life.
Yes.
It's like amazing. They are actually.
Absolutely.
One thing it always actually clicked in my mind. Like we often hear the term humor in uniform. Can you tell us about it?
Humor in actually, humor in uniform emanates from the innocence of people. And it often happens when you encounter young recruits who are trying to still get into the grasp of the army, trying to understand kaise routine chalta hai, kya hota hai. So I must bring out here, we have something called Sahayaks in the army, the buddy. A buddy is given to you from the unit. Who comes and does your dress and prepares everything and then goes back, and you dress up and then go and to the unit. Again, you have to change 3-4 dresses in a day. Your morning PT dress, then your uniform, then you come back sports dress. At night, there is some dinner night or something like that. Uska dress alag hota hai. So you need somebody who knows how to do it right, and he comes and does it. And the aim of giving you a buddy is that he learns when he comes to you how to do things correctly in life. So we groom him. We tell him, Tambi, अगर इसको बटन को ब्रासो करना है तो पहले नीचे कार्ड लगाएंगे, फिर ब्रासो करेंगे ताकि यूनिफॉर्म गंदा नहीं है. रिबन्स का करेक्ट ऑर्डर ये होगा, रिबन्स इतने डिस्टेंस पे होंगे. यूनिफॉर्म जब मैं पहनूंगा तो तुम मुझे बताएगा मेरा लाइन जो है वो बेल्ट का लाइन मेरा लाइन और जो ट्राउजर का जो सीम लाइन है वो बिल्कुल एक लाइन में है कि नहीं है, मेरा लेनिया ठीक है नहीं, मेरा एंगल कैप का एंगल ठीक है कि नहीं. So as he's checking for me, he's also learning. When he goes back, he does exactly the same. He comes out and turns out beautifully. And he also ensures that my clothes and dresses go to the unit dhobi, come back in time and things like that. He maintains my wardrobe to say precisely. Sometimes he helps out the lady of the house. तभी आप यूनिट से वापस आएगा, आवा से मेरे लिए कुछ लेके आ जाना इस तरह से. तो वहीं पे there is a local army welfare shop which sells things. So he comes while coming back, he can bring a couple of things. So one of the times, one of the unit ladies must have told Tambi, आप वापस आएगा ना लंच करने के बाद शाम को, आप लौकी लेते हुए आ जाओ. He said, okay, मैम साहब लेके आएगा. And he came back in the evening. After some time, the lady realized कि इसने वो आया नहीं यार लौकी. So you asked him, तंबी आप लौकी लेकर आए? बोला हाँ मैम साहब. नहीं तो कहाँ रखा है, मेरे को दिख नहीं रहा. मैम साहब अलमारी में रखा. I said why? मतलब she said why, अलमारी में क्यों रखा है, लेके आओ उसको इधर. So he went and brought, and he comes back with a lock and a key. That is how. I mean, these are small anecdotes which happen. And that is how the humor in uniform comes up.
That was amazing. Actually, I was also like, why has he kept it in a wardrobe?
Yeah.
Lock and key, lock key. Okay. Okay.
That was a young recruit. उसको जितना समझ में आया उसने वो ऐसे अपना दिमाग लगा के कि हाँ, this must have been the need. That's how.
Awesome. So we all would like to know, like we know, like any one place the army officer doesn't stay. They have their postings and everything. So where all you have been posted, and which one the best one and why? The posting.
You know, people often see my postings And they must be thinking, yaar, main chief ka son-in-law hu shayad. Because I got the best of peace postings and the toughest of field postings. And that gave me a lot of strength. After Jaipur, I was posted in Kargil, Batalik. Then we touched down in Hyderabad, and within 6 months, we went to Sri Lanka. So we got that first exposure of true fighting and battle and everything, which is very rare in an army officer's life. I would say the officers who were commissioned earlier were lucky. They could fight so many wars. हमको बहुत कम मिला लड़ने को, पर मिला. At least we had the chance. Thereafter, we came back to Dehradun and I came to NSG. So I remained in NSG for 3 years. After NSG, we went to Assam, I told you, of Bajrang. From there, I went to Staff College, did Staff College, came to Pune as the brigade major of a brigade. Brigade major is what is adjutant to a commanding officer. A brigade major is to a brigade commander. He prepares all the orders and ensures that it is carried out. Then I was picked up by the Commandant Staff College as staff officer. So I went and spent in Wellington 2.5 years. And having done that, I went back to the unit and commanded my unit in Op Parakram. When there was a standoff between India and Pakistan. And that is where we were actually ready to go and attack. I went to 2 points. I can't name them, but we were almost to go. And the last minute we were told, no, hold fire, hold fire. So that was quite some experience where we learned and carried out true deception. People won't know where will we attack, where are we, where have we gone, and things like that. This was in 2002-03. Then I commanded my unit in Rajouri in the anti-infiltration grid. Terrorists. In fact, that was the first time mere unit ka banda was a casualty, and I was quite shaken up. I said, ye kaise ho gaya? But then it happened. But we came out with laurels. Unit did very well. And after that, I came back to a new raising of a command headquarter in Jaipur. We raised the command, and I was given the GOCNC's Commendation Medal here in Jaipur because of excellent work in that raising. And having done that, I took study leave, went to IIT Kharagpur, did MBA, came back, commanded a brigade, came back again to Army headquarters. I was the Deputy Quartermaster General of the Indian Army for 2.5 years. Deputy Quartermaster General is the right-hand man of Chief. He has 9 Lieutenant Generals under him. This Quartermaster General looks after the entire administration and everything else of the Army. I was his deputy. It was a post which was actually to be given to a Major General, but we had given that Major General vacancy somewhere. So brigadiers were taken, and obviously the best ones, I suppose. I was there with him for 2.5 years, did that. And then I was posted at Commander Chhattisgarh and Odisha sub-area in Raipur, where we were to advise the Chhattisgarh and Odisha governments on anti-Naxal operations without getting involved physically into operations, because the government didn't want this kind of escalation of affairs. So even today, the police and paramilitary forces are handling, but we are there to advise them what to do, what not. And we are keeping a tab in case we are told tomorrow go. We should know. We shouldn't be found wanting कि हमें पता ही नहीं इलाका कैसा है, maps कहाँ है, किधर जाना है, क्या करना है. So that kind of a presence, a little token presence is there to keep things under view. And I retired in June 2015. And that was the end of my army career. Then I went to Union Bank of India as the country head security. And Union Bank of India, I served 3 years in Mumbai. And what Army didn't show me Union Bank showed me. I saw the entire interiors of UP, Bihar, Andhra, South, all 7 eastern states and all. That was Union Bank of India. I ensured that I used to fly 15 days in a month and sit in the office only 15 days. And that's how 3 years, an awesome experience of Union Bank also.
Awesome, awesome. It was. Now, just we were just everyone was just listening to which all places you have been, and not it was not for 2 days you were there. So a very major question comes. Like we also when we travel, so my mom is also like घर पे रहे कभी, wife है, बच्चा है, साथ में रहे. So what was the role and what was the thinking of your wife especially, and how your family member and who influenced your son? You got my question actually, because I'm
Yeah,
also
yeah, yeah.
because they also tell me the same thing. So I just want to know about this. What role actually they play?
I think if wives are taken out from the army life will not remain a good life. They are such a great support and a counterpart of this life. You know, a lady stays during field time, she's alone. She's bringing up the children. During peacetime, we come back, we unite. But there is so much of training going on that you are hardly at home. You leave at 5 in the morning, come back at 8, leave at 8:30, come back at 2:30, leave at 4:30, come back at 6, 7, 8. And there is an event and she's also dressed up low. We have to go there and come back at 10 o'clock at night, morning 4:30, you're again up. So it's a very fast cycle. And what she does for you is she maintains the complete social side of an officer. Secondly, they have a very major role to play in bringing up the level of awareness and teaching the Jawan's wives how to bring up kids, how to manage finances, how to keep house. So they go and visit them, they bring Jawan's wives and we come to a common place, they interact with each other, find out what are the difficulties. If there are difficulties at her home, there is an Army Welfare Wives Association through which channel we come to know, oh, there's a problem in somebody's home. We call the Tambi, तुम मेरे को बताता क्यों नहीं है? साहब वो छोटा सा है, वो हो जाएगा. So, but we come to know that there is something there which this fellow is not telling. Then we send him home, or we tell somebody who's already in his village कि जाके देखो उसको क्या problem, उसको solve करो, resolve करो. So wives have a tremendous role to play in the army. They almost move shoulder to shoulder, and whatever today my children are, I would say majorly it is because of how the wife brought them up. हमारी तो फोटो घर में लगी होती है, उनको पता होता है ये डैडी हैं, he is good, he's doing well, हमको ऐसे बनना चाहिए. So that's the motivation she keeps giving. She looks after in-laws, she looks after the remaining family, remain connected to them. They have a great role. I think sometimes I feel if they are not there, army life may not be as good, as comfortable as we find it.
Too good, too good, too good. Actually, this was one of my personal question because मुझे भी ऐसा लगा कि मेरा जब बेटा बड़ा हो जाएगा, he will be in the army. So how will his wife survive? वो ऐसे अकेले ना पड़ जाए या कैसे रहेंगे? मतलब she has to travel a lot. But I got the answer. So that was a nice one. Okay, there's someone. This is so there's a last question now. But yes, we all will be there. There are people actually they want to talk to you, so we'll be taking questions from them also, as well as to all the participants, those who are today with us. We know that you all have achieved something in your life. So if you want to be a part at Coffee with ST, please do write us, or else you can call Archana ji, or else you can call me anytime, and we would love to call you and let your story know to everyone. Like today, actually, I'm actually, मैं क्या बोलता हूँ, मेरी वो औकात नहीं है, but still I am in front of you, but But everyone are like loving it. I know they all want to know the story. So that was a great one. And the last thing, so many times since starting, we are listening to you that you tried for NSD and then for acting and everything. In army life also, you tried doing acting. Singing, we all know you are one of a winner of Seniors Have Talent. So a big round of applause for that, everyone. He is one of a winner from Seniors Have Talent. Amazing singer he is. That personally, I have seen actually. So what how did acting, singing, and other activities actually came in your life? Because you were into like army, and then how did everything come
Uh, like I told you, singing I attribute to my school teacher, Mrs. Vaidya. She was an amazing singer, and somehow I was in. Actually, there's a very small little story. मैं थर्ड क्लास में था, क्लास 3 में, एंड हमारी वैद्या मैडम उस दिन शायद क्लास में नहीं आई थी, तो हमारे एक रिंगे सर यूज्ड टू बी अनदर म्यूजिक टीचर हु यूज्ड टू टीच टू द सीनियर क्लास, एंड ही यूज्ड टू वेयर दैट plucking thing of the guitar in his fingers. वो एक रिंग सी होती थी, and people used to think कि अगर गड़बड़ करा तो he will hit you with that. So we used to be all terrified of रिंगे सर. And उस दिन सवेरे रिंगे सर came to our music class. We were chaos children. We were shouting at the top of our voices. So he made us stand, all of us, on the desk. खड़े हो जाओ तुम लोग. Okay. कौन क्या गाना सीखा तुम लोगों ने? तो nobody said anything. Okay, तुम लोग जन गण मन गाओ. So we sang the national song, and he started making everybody sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. At last, I was left. So I thought, यार अभी तो बहुत पिटाई होगा क्योंकि तो बाकी लोग तो बैठ गया, मैं ही डेस्क पे खड़ा हूँ. He said, "You come here, इधर आओ. तुम बहुत अच्छा गाते हो, तुम कल से सीनियर्स के साथ गाने के लिए वो जो एनुअल फंक्शन है उसमें जाएगा." So I was taken there, and that's how I got encouraged. And my singing continued. My father used to be a very good singer. He used to sing again freelance. We were not. हम कोई ऐसे क्लासिकल सीख के नहीं, हमने बॉलीवुड के जो सॉन्ग्स हैं पुराने गाने वो आज भी कंठस्थ हैं मुझे, केएल सहगल से लेकर के और 80s तक के गाने. अभी आजकल के गाने उतने ज्यादा याद नहीं है. So that's how it came. Acting came through school again, continued in college because we earned from it. Continued in the army life, couple of exposures. Then I did from Anupam Kher's Actor Prepares Academy. I did 50 plus ka advanced courses. So it was basic, level 1, level 2, level 3. I did the advanced course, and then we did a couple of plays there. Theatre still remains my passion. Whenever I'll get a chance, I'll jump on and grab the opportunity.
Sure. Amazing. For Anupam Kher, I know. You came to Bombay for that? For the Anupam
Yeah,
Kher?
I was in Bombay. I was with Union Bank of India. So 5 years we were there. Yeah, and evenings I used to go and attend the classes.
Oh, wow. Lovely. So that was an amazing journey actually you had, and still so fit and fine. And since day one, actually, when I heard singing you also, I always told Archana and my team, like, sir, बहुत smart है. His voice and the attitude he keeps up, yeah, I'm there, and the voice, and I was actually a fan पहले से, but आज के बाद में से I know it will be like a respect and all.
Thank you.
Aiming from inside. So we would like to have, if anyone is there in the participants, they want to ask anything to sir, they can please ask. Okay. We have very own KGY Raman sir. He is with us for all our events. So, Raman sir.
Namaste, sir.
Sir.
Say somebody speaking from the heart with a great affection for the listener. The quality of their speech, it reaches your heart. Most sincere, most transparent. I don't know how to praise you for the clarity with which you communicate. You seem to have passed a course in communication skills also. I congratulate you. I'm thankful to you.
Thank you,
As
sir.
a matter of fact, I wanted to ask a few silly questions. Excuse me for that.
Anything.
You see, I think you were speaking about 1960s, but you were mentioning kerosene street lamps. Am I right?
Yes, yes. 1959, 60, 61. I think light came to us somewhere in 63
My
in
God,
Spartan. Yes.
that
And
is
why I
a
remember that, because in 65, when there was a Pakistani war with us,
yeah.
so there used to be lights out, and there used to be siren in the town, and we used to go get into homes, leave the fields or lie down on fields. We were all practiced that way. So I
Oh,
remember distinctly, I think 62 or 63, the light came to our town.
that's quite surprising. Okay. Then my next question is,
Yes.
you said your grandmother was educated up to 8th standard only, if I
Yes.
remember right. But
Yes.
she drove a jeep.
Yes. Yes.
That is quite, that is also quite something unusual, because women folk are not educated much, the householders in those days, to have the capacity to play tennis and drive a jeep. I
Yes.
think that is the true things you said. Pronouns to her memory.
Oh,
Yes, great, great. That was very interesting. And
thank-
then the next question that arose in my mind is, in those days when you graduated from college, getting a government job, an officer's job by UPSC, or a banker's job, banking service commission, these things were quite easy and within reach, right? You will
yeah.
agree?
Yes.
And
Yes.
still your father chose army life for you. Any particular reason why your father should choose army?
Because he wanted me to give the right lead to my younger brothers and sisters.
Father himself was an army man or what?
No, he was a banker. He was.
Uh-huh.
He was.
Anybody previously in military service in your family?
No, nobody's.
But
No.
that is remarkable, you know. But because when you generally think sending somebody to the army is sending somebody to death, active service. They may go to the war front and get killed in the process. It's a great act by your parent, which is also something worthy of him. Oh, I have my
Thank you.
pronouns to his memory
Thank you, sir.
again.
Thank
Again.
you, sir.
And I was about to the question that arose earlier was, when what's your exact feeling when you shoot and kill a man? Because you see, between the man and yourself, there is no personal enmity.
Sir,
So
it's a
that
very
killing
nice
should always be remorseful to you. Am I right?
I would say two things in this regard. Firstly, the man you are killing, you don't know him.
Yeah.
There is no connect except that he is the enemy. If you don't do this act, very next second, he will kill you.
Quite.
And since it is all done in the national interest, there is no remorse.
Okay.
And let me also say in the same breath, sir, we are very respectful to people who have died in war of the enemies. We are the only army which sends citations across the border saying that this man fought well.
Mhm.
Very few armies in the world do that.
And one final question,
Yeah.
maybe an uncomfortable one. What is the experience of the military high command and officers with reference to political corruption?
Sir, I think we are quite isolated from political corruption.
Thank God for that.
Quite isolated. We have nothing to do with politics. People can touch politics only after they have hung uniform of their own volition and not otherwise. During the army life, we have no connect whatsoever. I mean, we respect people come, defense minister comes, we respect him, show him things, he goes away. No favors asked, nothing done. I would say we stand at 99.99%. All of us are quite safe from this political corruption.
So, in a way, we can safely say India is not a country for a military coup.
Never. And so let me also tell you, even if you give us a chance, it is not easy to manage this country with guns. Yeah, it is not possible.
Thank you, Almesh. Thank you. I asked one question too many. Excuse me for that.
No, not
I
at all.
greatly admire the way you tell your tale. Okay.
Thank you.
Hands
Thank
off to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, KG Varaman sir. Your words actually meant a lot. And next we have Ajay Roy sir. Ajay sir is here with us.
Yes, Ajay ji. Yes.
Sir, just salute to you, sir.
Thank you.
So, actually, I'm just sharing because I belong to a entire army family.
Okay.
My brother retired as a station commander and Brigadier SP Roy.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
perhaps you must be.
Yeah, I have known him. Yes. We have not served together, but I know him. Yeah.
He was station commander in your Jammu JNK.
Yes.
And even my another brother, he was in Air Force, and my son is in Merchant Navy. So I have seen that the way you all are maintain yourself, as well as the way you keep your family and everyone, it's really hats off to you. And I know my family everywhere, they जितने भी आर्मी के हैं उनकी सारी फैमिली इतनी ज्यादा रेपुटेड और वो रहते हैं कि वो एवरीथिंग इज टाइमली, सब कुछ बहुत ही मेंटेन रहता है, वो रहता है. एंड really I am really proud of you and the army person. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Amazing. Thank you, Ajay sir. Next we have last but not the least, we have Suresh Nanda sir with us.
Jai Hind, Brigadier. Can you hear me?
Jai Hind, sir. Yes, I can hear you.
I can share my feelings to you.
Yes.
The Indian education system, they should incorporate army history and sacrifices in history books.
Yes.
That is my feeling.
I totally agree with you, sir.
We read Mughal history, ancient Indian history, medieval history, killings, war, fought, who won. But we hardly, even educated people hardly knows about Sam Manekshaw or Karyappa or Thimaya because of our repressive education system. So the army should give a proposal to Government of India Education Department to incorporate army history and sacrifices as a part of history syllabus. Thank you, Brigadier.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for staying with us. And still, if you have anything, you all have achieved something. So please do let us know if you want to be at Coffee with ST. And thanks a lot, Ashutosh sir, and for accepting the request of us. And sorry if
No, not at all. Not at all. It was a pleasure being with you all. And it's so nice to be connected to seniors today and the people from seniors today. Even today, I get telephone calls and we speak to each other of our singers who are together. It's so nice to be with you all. It's a very nice platform. And I wish it grows from height to height and event to event further in future.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, sir. It means a lot, sir. So thank you, sir, once again to you and your family, everyone, for your time. And thank you for everyone to join with us. Thanks a lot. I think so. Rajkumar sir wants to say something.
Please. I have all the time. I have no problems.
Yeah, Rajkumar sir is
here. I'd like to inform you, today I am celebrating my 57th marriage anniversary.
Wow. Heartiest congratulations, sir. Very lucky. Few lucky people do that.
But if you see me, you will think that I am 57 years old. Am I?
Yes.
I have crossed 82nd year of my birthday few
Very
days
nice.
back.
Very nice. God bless, sir.
And my fitness age in my mobile is 66, which I'll show you from my.
Oh, very nice. Oh, wonderful. Oh, God. Terrific.
At this age,
Terrific.
And the last thing I tell you, one and only person on this earth who thinks of living and crossing 123, that is me.
Okay. Very nice.
I want to, and why 123? I want to go into Guinness Book of Record, the largest living person. The last one is 122 years. So I have to cross that 122.
Wonderful,
And
sir. Wonderful.
My confidence, I'll tell you, I have just 5 years back did 2 hours non-stop Zumba dance in Balewadi Stadium in the age group of 20 to 40, along with my wife. I have
Wow.
got the Guinness Book of Records certificate.
Wonderful.
Within 2 hours, and we never felt even 1 minute that we are dancing for 2 hours. Zumba dance is not that easy. By
Wonderful.
grace of God, I even dance today, just like Shammi Kapoor or any other yesteryear's heroes.
Very
Not
nice.
of
Very
today.
nice. Very
Today's
nice.
years, today's actors, they hardly dance. As you said in singing, up
Yes.
to 70, 80, singing was easy, dancing was easy. But after 80, we have started losing the charm of singing and dancing.
Mhm.
But I do it.
Yeah.
I
Very
think
nice.
I should not take more time. If you allow unlimited experience, I can pass on unlimited.
I will connect with you separately, sir. I'll take your number from Firoz ji and speak to you.
I will either send my few dances on your this thing, or you
Yes,
can
yes.
see my dance live on this program. It will be just 3 months, but you will never see in the entire world a person of my age dancing just like a person of 25 to 30 years.
Awesome. Awesome, sir. May God keep
Kumar
you
sir,
like
I'll
that.
send your number. I'll send your number to Ashutosh sir.
Yeah.
You can actually send your videos to him. And by the way, I have seen him dancing. So he dances very well. I've seen him dancing. We were doing a dance session. So thank you, everyone. And thank you, Ashutosh sir, again, once again.
Thank you so
for
much.
accepting the
Thank
request.
you, everyone who's
See you
still
soon,
connected.
everyone. Take care. Bye. Bye.